Hi, this is Ryan Brown from mockquestions.com. In this video, we'll discuss 5 Social Service Manager interview questions from our website. We'll go over each question and some advice on how to answer them, along with an answer example. Okay, let's get started. Question number 1. Tell me about a time you successfully adapted to a culturally different environment. Here's why the interviewer asked this question. The interviewer wants to know that you can relate to people who do not share your background and cultural identity. Your work will involve being immersed in different communities, and the interviewer wants to know that you can appreciate differences, assess your surroundings professionally, and produce good work, even in an unfamiliar environment. Here's what not to say. Don't say that your program or presence changed a community for the better. Don't say anything that could be interpreted as devaluing someone else's culture or trying to make them more like you. This question is about how you read and interpret someone else's culture and adapt yourself to work or live in it in a healthy way. Here's our answer example. Growing up in a big city, then attending a public university, I was accustomed to a fast-paced work environment and a general culture of busyness. In my first job after college, I landed in a smaller town where the pace was much slower. At first, I kept my old habits and tried to bring my clients and colleagues along with me. But I soon learned that my way was just as foreign to them as their way was to me. I was the odd one out, so I learned to appreciate their slower, more thoughtful perspective. I've carried that with me and now have a good balance of being productive and present. Question number 2. Why are you the best candidate for this position? Here's why the interviewer asked this question. The interviewer wants to know if you can identify your unique qualities or superior skills, and if you are willing to advocate for yourself. This is also a chance to talk about an accomplishment that you are proud of that hasn't come up yet during the interview. Here's what not to say. While this is a chance to highlight your skills or accomplishments, don't presume that no other candidate has the same skills or equivalent accomplishments. You will risk sounding arrogant. Acknowledge that they probably have a strong pool of candidates, and as long as your skills and experience meet their requirements, formulate an answer that reminds them of your expertise, but also shows why you would be the kind of person they'd like to have as a colleague. Here's our answer example. I hope we have discussed my experience enough that you feel confident I could be successful in this position. The organization seems like a good professional fit. I've felt a good rapport with everyone I've met so far, and I can see myself integrating seamlessly into the team. I know that I contribute best when I feel a sense of belonging, and I already feel like I belong here. I believe that I could help you move forward as an organization, both because of my skill set and my strong desire to be here. Question number 3. Have you had to discipline an employee or fire an employee? How did you handle that situation? Here's why the interviewer asked this question. The interviewer may ask this question if you had been in a position to assess employees' performance and determine whether it's appropriate to terminate their employment. The interviewer wants to know how you handle challenging and possibly emotionally charged situations in which you are the decision maker. Here's what not to say. Don't say that you have never had to fire anyone. The question also asks about disciplining an employee. If you have no supervisory experience, you should say so. But you can also recall a time you corrected someone else's behavior, even if you were not their supervisor. Your answer should show that you can confront a colleague directly and respectfully while holding them accountable for not meeting expectations. Here's our answer example. Yes, I've had to discipline and terminate employees. I feel strongly that no employee should ever be surprised in a performance review, so I make sure to provide feedback, whether positive or negative, as soon as possible after the behavior takes place. If an employee is consistently not meeting expectations, I would put them on a performance plan where we set very specific short-term criteria they must meet to remain in good standing. I would meet with the employee frequently to give them the best chance to get back on track. Question number 4. Tell me about your supervisory style. Here's why the interviewer asked this question. The interviewer wants to know how you will approach leading a team and supervising the individuals on that team. Current employees who will report to you will have varying needs from you as a supervisor. The interviewer wants to determine if you can meet those needs. Here's what not to say. Don't say that you have a different supervisory style for each employee to suit their preferences. That does not provide a consistent or equitable experience for employees. If you're not sure how to describe your supervisory style, spend some time thinking about it and ask those you supervise how they would describe you. Here's our answer example. I like to provide a pretty high degree of structure for my employees with lots of room for communication and flexibility within that structure. For example, I hold team meetings every other week, and in the off weeks, I meet with each employee one-on-one. Sometimes there isn't much to discuss in the one-on-one meetings, but we never cancel them so that the structure is in place. I also make a practice of observing my employees in client-facing settings at least twice a year and providing direct feedback following those observations. Question number 5. Have you ever made the decision to cut a program? What was the reason and what was the result? This question addresses several overlapping skills you will need as a social service manager: budgeting, experience, making decisions, especially ones with which others may disagree, providing a rationale for your decisions, and evaluating the outcomes. In particular, the interviewer may want to know what you considered when deciding to cut the program and any adversity you face in implementing the cut. Here's what not to say. Don't say, "No, I never have." If you haven't had to cut a program, think of a similar decision you had to make where you prioritize one program's needs over another, perhaps even if you did not have to cut a program. You could also talk about considerations to cut a program that ended up with a different solution, like reallocating funds from other budget lines. Here's our answer example. Yes, I had to cut a program designed to assist homeless teens by providing access to a computer lab and technology instruction. The program required significant startup costs and oversight, but did not serve enough kids to justify the expense. We eliminated that specific initiative, but repurposed the computer lab to serve seniors, grade school children, and teens at different times of the day. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, it'd be greatly appreciated if you could subscribe to our channel. It really does help motivate us to continue creating videos. Thanks again, and we hope you stick around to watch more interview practice videos from Mock Questions.